Maybe this is saying the same thing, but I got to get it out because it was interesting imagery. It was kind of showing we're all our own twin flame. And, oh, it was so good. It was like, oh my God, it's like, they showed, I don't know how to verbalize it. It was kind of like showing humans are born robots. They're born empty vessels. And the souls are all floating around. And maybe you're not born that way. I don't know. I don't know that part. But it was like, you know how they've shown me before where it's like human bodies will take up whatever frequency they're focusing on. So if you're not loving yourself, you're operating out of a low frequency. Or if you're operating out of lack or out of lust or out of whatever low frequency, out of fear, out of whatever, it's like you can think of it as like that demon is on you. And many people have many of them on them, right? They're operating out of envy, jealousy, fear, lust, revenge, bitterness, anger, frustration, all these lower energies. So they could have all, if you think of it as, visualize it this way, all those demons attached to you. And you have to fight all those battles to get them off of you and rise up. And so, but with all those demons on you, with all those entities on you, with all those lower thought forms, all of those energies, all of those entities, however you want to say it or picture it, it's like it's covering you up. It is blinding you and keeping you deaf and dumb. It's keeping you in the dark. And so your soul that's floating around looking for you can't find you. So it really is like remembering me. It really is like getting back to me. You know how I've shared with you so many times, it'll be like God. I know that sounds funny, but it's like somebody else enters me and looks through my eyes. I know it sounds weird. It does. I get it. But it could be like people who are astral projecting and they bump into me. It could be many things that are going on. We could explain it in many, many different ways. If they're doing it consciously, like I've shared with you, that's technically illegal in my world, right? Like they get big karma from that. Like invading another person's space like that is major karma. Their privacy, their space, their body, all these things. And playing in their energy, all these things, like it comes with such smacks. But again, people don't see it or believe it or experience it usually until it's too late, right? Like they can get away with it and they think they are then getting away with it and they'll justify it away, even though they know better because they don't want that done to them. That's your number one rule. That helps you with everything. But then when the karma starts coming in, all of a sudden they understand. Well, it's too late now. The karma's coming in and there's no stopping it. Okay, can we get back to... So it was like all these souls floating around, which was interesting because it was like, like they talk about like lost souls all the time, but legitimately, and they're in search for you, but they can't reunite with you until you fight through all that stuff so that you're bright enough and sending out that signal again. It was wild. I mean, I guess it's all still saying the same thing, but the imagery was so good. It was so interesting. It was so... they showed me quite a few people, and I'm trying to think of the one person they were showing. Because it was shocking how they were showing it, because I was like, oh my God. It was like they had... Forgive these words. I'm just going to say what they're showing so before I can think it through to verbalize it better for others. But it was like they were born a dark witch and they had already known how to look into other people's destinies and look into their Akashic records and do all these things. And again, it was like they were natural at it. So it's funny. It's like a lot of the things that I'm natural at, I guess people could call I guess you could call that a witch, but I've heard people say like white witch or like of the light, or I don't know. It's like anybody who has really good intuition and uses it for good, right? Like you use your powers for good. I guess you could call that. This person was using it to serve themselves by taking from others. So that's the dark side, right? Like that's not following the number one rule. That's all these things. Okay, so yeah, sorry, I'm just shocked by what they're showing me, and what they showed me back then too was like, and so it was like this person had followed this other person lifetime after lifetime, trying to like get them. And so the person they were showing, it shocked me and saddened me. But also, they physically looked like they looked old, dingy, and gray. I don't mean their hair. I mean like their face. Like they looked very, like in other words, they looked older than they were. That's what I mean. Like it was almost like you could see all the entities feeding on them, but they were oblivious to it. Like, because they weren't staying present with themselves. They were so focused on outside themselves, but like in an angry or malicious way, like angry or like focused on another in a mean way. That's the idea of like using your powers for bad, operating on the dark side, like ill thoughts, sending the evil eye. You can say it so many different ways, but oh man. Sorry, I really am shocked by who they're showing. But again, it's like because they're so focused on their anger towards that other person, it's like they can't even see it. They can't even see all those lower energies that are feasting on them, which is having them behave in that manner. And they'll never break that cycle until they can see it. And then it is like the idea of release all those demons. And but those demons are encouraging the evil eye. So it's like they really have to see that about themselves. This is why it's important to look at your shadow work. It is like other entities controlling you. But you could, like, in other words, if you didn't even know it or understand it or believe it the way I'm saying, it's like you could just look at this person and be like, damn. Like, I think it's like the idea is we would be like, damn, they've had a lot of stress in their life or something like that. Right? Because we would think, God, this is terrible to say, but we would say, like, oh, they look terrible. Meaning they look terrible for their age. They must be really stressed or they must be whatever. And normally it's like, well, it's because they're not loving themselves. They're not honoring themselves. They're focused on their anger towards another, their hatred towards another, their bitterness towards another, their whatever lower energies, right? And it's like they won't admit that. And it's not like you necessarily hear it out of their mouths, but you can see it. And, it is kind of funny how it's like it takes work to love oneself. In that, if you hear it the way I'm saying, so if like you're in those lower energies, yeah, it's going to take work for you to face all that, which is loving to you, to face all those fears, those demons, those lower energies, those lies, those ties. That's work. That's hard work. But if you love you, you'll do it because you want you back in you. You want your alignment together. You want your soul to be able to find you and be intact. But if you're covered up under all that stuff, your soul can't see you. They can't hear you. They don't know where you're at. So it's like it's floating around, looking for you, calling for you, but you can't hear. You're you're stuck under anger and seething and bitterness and revenge. And that's where you'll live forevermore. Until you do that work, until you know you're worthy, until you love yourself enough to be like, what am I doing? Why would I spend my life focused on another? What about me? What about my life? You see what I'm saying? It's almost like when you think about it, it's almost so silly. You're like, why are you focused on another? Why are you angry? Like, why are you not living your life? It's like they're just letting it slip by. But then maybe that's why they look so aged. It's a hard life, not loving because you're lying to yourself, right? It's basically, again, it's saying, this other person's better than me. I'm more interested in them than me. What? Just doesn't even make sense. Okay. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.